want to talk about the ecological effects of spearfishing. So a couple of weeks ago, I actually went spearfishing for the very first time. Everyone told me spearfishing is a sustainable option, and I just sort of thought, yeah, it is. So I'm gonna spearfish because I like sustainability. I really just didn't really investigate any further. After my last video, I actually had one of my professors, an absolute legend in the field, message me and just send me a little bit further information. In true scientific form, I've taken this extra information and sort of assessed it and come to not really a new conclusion, but sort of a different version. I wanted to share that with you guys today, just so that you have the same information that I have, and so that you can actually move forward with that and decide what sustainably fishing means for you in the spearfishing realm. How people justify spearfishing is that they say, oh, spearfishing's been around for thousands of years, right? And that must mean it's sustainable because, you know, they've done it since the turn of the century and there's still fish in the ocean, right? Well, right, but kind of right. There's remarkably less fish in the ocean, and we're doing it in ways that they couldn't even dream of doing back then. Scuba diving just started 50 years ago. I've heard the quote over and over that we've become too good at fishing. That is why we have essentially overfished the ocean. I'm not trying to convince you either way, but I would like to give you all of the information so that you have the chance to make an informed decision, because that's what being responsible with the environment is really about, right? So there's three pretty significant pros about spearfishing. One, you can be really selective with what type of fish that you're catching, less bycatch, and three, there's less gear loss because you don't want to lose that $3,000 spear gun that you just bought, right? So some of the cons about spearfishing, there's definitely reef damage. These larger fish are hiding up underneath the reef, and you are going to smash into that coral in order to get that fish. People can say that they're being careful all they want, but it's gonna happen. The con is that it targets the biggest, most reproductive fish in the ocean. These are actually females that have the largest amount of eggs that are able to be fertilized, and so we're taking out a huge part of the reproductive system. Here's a very significant statistic for you. Between 1953 and 2007, coastal rock reef fishes decreased by 76%. That's a pretty dang big percentage. Hawaii actually banned scuba diving with spearfishing. So here's another side of the story. Is scuba diving with spearfishing actually sustainable? Hawaii doesn't think so. Some of the reasons that they cited for it not being sustainable were that it harms fish stocks and ecosystems, it targets larger fish, harvests in deeper water where fish take refuge. So here's a couple of stats for you about this. Free diving versus scuba diving. During free diving, you're typically going about 10 meters down. You catch typically about 39% of the fish that you target. When you scuba dive, you're actually usually going about 10 to 35 meters down. You're getting higher quality of fish, which are also those large reproductive fish. You're typically catching 69% of fish targeted. Free diving, you're doing 39% of fish targeted. Scuba diving, you're doing 69% of fish targeted. There's also this side of spearfishing that is the trophy fishing. I personally would never partake in trophy fishing. I do think that it's okay to fish and then catch what you eat, but I would never catch a fish that I wasn't going to eat. I just think it's disrespectful to the ecosystem. But given all of this information, probably some steps I'm going to take in the future. I won't be spearfishing in reef ecosystems. I also likely will spearfish while scuba diving, but I'm definitely going to stay in tune with what type of fish are overpopulated in our area. I do think that spearfishing was likely very sustainable many years ago, or still maybe in coastal tribal communities, because they actually see the ocean as an extension of their backyard. They see it as a part of them and a part of their culture, and they actually want to take steps to protect it. Whereas most of the time we're doing it for sport. We're not doing it because we actually need the food. We're doing it because it's a source of entertainment. Back in the day, or with coastal tribal communities, they are doing it with more of an emphasis on ethics and sustainability. Doesn't that mean that we could take a closer look at these things and also do it in the same way? I don't think that we need to give up spearfishing completely. I definitely won't be doing that, but I do think there's steps that we can take to make sure that we're fishing in a sustainable way. All of that being said, I want to leave you guys with a quote by Brinkworth. Spearfishing is sustainable only if individuals are sustainable, and if individuals are not sustainable, then the sport of spearfishing is not sustainable. What do you guys think? Is spearfishing sustainable? Is it not? Do you feel comfortable scuba diving while spearfishing? What type of things are you going to do differently to ensure that you're doing it sustainably? Leave all your thoughts in the comment section below. Make sure you give this a like and subscribe. And thank you guys so much for listening.